This my guy.
Yeah.
This is my guy. I've watched so much tape on this kid. I've been fascinated with this guy.
All right, next up on our list, we're going to talk about DaRon Holmes II out of Dayton. He is 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan, averaged 20.4 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 2.1 blocks, 2.6 assists, shooting 54.4% from the field. He's a local kid from Goodyear, Arizona. He's a little bit older than some of the others in the draft class at 21, and he is athletic. How are we feeling about DaRon?
He's a good player. Not quite the elevate kind of dude that you were kind of hoping to get in the draft, but he has a good all-around game. He is athletic. Don't get me wrong. He's not unathletic. But he's a good, solid player. I will say that. I do like him more than Filipowski, who's also a good all-around player, but athletically, DaRon is just in a much different category. And he can handle the ball. He can shoot from the perimeter as well. He really developed his outside shot over the last couple of years at Dayton. And again, local product. His brother is actually pretty good too.
This my guy.
Yeah.
This is my guy. I've watched so much tape on this kid. I've been fascinated with this guy. Me and G had a talk before the show. This is my number one guy on this whole exercise today.
Okay.
This guy's intrigued.
This is your number one?
This is my number one guy. This is the guy that I think, I'm telling you, okay. This guy can handle the rock. He can shoot the basketball. He uses his three-point shot as an actual weapon, not something that you have to prove that you can do. That's the difference to me. A lot of these bigs are proving, hey, I can keep you honest and make this shot. This guy's saying, come out here. You don't come, I'll make this shot. And if you come close enough, I'll pump fake drive and bang on your ass. So he's super athletic. Like I said, his spin moves around the basket are really good. He's got a soft touch. His midi is pretty nice. And here's the thing. He plays defense. You want a guy that's going to play defense out on the island against guards, against perimeters that can go out there and clamp and switch? This is the guy. This guy can move like a guard. He's 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan, but moves like a guard. And so when I look at what the Suns are looking for, and I look at all these bigs, and I've been looking at the tape for quite some time now, this is a guy that I think fits the most. He got to put a little bit of weight on. But once he gets into an NBA program and they get some weight on him, some of the skills he brings to the table are very unique. So this is my guy.
Yeah, I waffled between putting him at number 3 and number 2 on my list because it's really close. I wound up going with the guy we'll talk about next at number 2, but the one knock against him is that he played in the Atlantic 10 conference.
Yeah.
So he didn't see the same caliber of competition. But I mean, a guy that put up those numbers was able to knock down threes and shoot pretty decent volume for the college game. The fact that he took about half of his shots at the rim and made 74% of them, despite being a little bit undersized for a center at 6'10", is really good. And he was only assisted on about 57% of his baskets at the rim. So a lot of it is, like you said, his ability to put the ball on the floor, to create, and especially to work out of the short roll, which is one thing that the Suns would like their center to be able to do when sharing the court with the big three, because those guys are going to get double teamed. You need an outlet that can make a play, that can pick and pop, that can attack the basket or spray it out to open shooters. He showed that he can do all of those things at Dayton. And he's a really great screener too. So the one thing for me, he's very active blocking shots, but he's going to need to prove at the next level that he can defend at the level, because watching some of his defensive film, it felt like he was able to use his athleticism and length to kind of recover. And at the next level, you're not going to be able to do that. So your footwork, where you're positioned, is going to have to be better. But you could say that for most rookies. And I do think, I was watching some of his film and I was like, holy shit, this dude looks really confident with a lot of the stuff that he's doing out there. So he's high up the board for me in terms of big men, for sure.
The good thing about him is he really, you could tell he really developed his game over the last couple of years and progressively got better at each category as the years went on. And this year he had his best year. He was a really good player, really good player. Don't get me wrong. But these next two, to me, if they were somehow to fall to 22, you just can't pass.
And to your point, real quick, Holmes did get a promise, we're assuming, because he canceled some draft workouts with other teams. So People are
Mhm.
assuming that he got a draft promise from some team in the latter half of the first round. Most people are kind of pointing to the Nuggets at number 28, which is kind of where his draft range is right now. So it might be a little bit of a reach if the Suns took him at 22, but maybe the Suns are that team. So who knows?
Maybe. And they
Yeah.
also have all the potential in the world to move up or down a couple spots as well within this draft. That's not outside of the realm of possibility. But I will say he is kind of in the sense of that he is 21 years old. That's kind of right up JJ's alley. He
Turns
likes
22
a
in
little
August.
bit of the older
he a Leo
draft
too. Shut up, baby.
prospects. You know what I'm
He a Leo.
saying? And that can bring some maturity and a little bit different mindset as a rookie coming into the NBA. So